the world was coming to an end. Water was running out, ice was melting everywhere, cups were being destroyed, and every single beverage this world had to offer was being sucked away, except for two. You were parched and need something, anything to quench your thirst. And then you were faced with a Coke or a Pepsi. How many of you would choose Coke, and how many of you would choose Pepsi? The unannounced Cola War has been going on since Pepsi was founded in 1898. Coke has been deemed the American beverage, yet today, that will change. Not only is Pepsi favored in the taste realm and is healthier for you, but Pepsi products are endorsed by famous celebrities from all across the globe. Because I have lived in North Carolina my entire life, I have grown up with a Pepsi bottle in my hand and have known the Pepsi brand fairly well over the years. Let me start by giving you an inside look at the Pepsi brand. The history of Pepsi is not only rich, but is also extremely patriotic and comes from a state I know so very well, North Carolina. Pepsi was founded in 1898 by Caleb Bradham in Newbern, North Carolina. Newbern is a place near and dear to my heart. I travel there most summers with my family, and the town is beautiful in itself. Bradham formed a drink that would help his customers handle the heat and settle their upset stomach. His drink became so popular that he decided to bottle it so that his consumers could drink it anywhere. He opened bottle distribution centers in both Charlotte and Durham. The Pepsi name was derived from the pepsin and cola nut, unlike its competitor, who was named after a drug. In 1909, Pepsi signed their first of many sponsorships. Race driver Barney Oldfield became Pepsi's first celebrity endorser when he appeared in newspaper ads. In 1941, Pepsi changed their signature logo into a more patriotic one. The caps of their bottles were changed to red, white, and blue in support of World War II. In 1943, Pepsi advertised the Twice as Much campaign. Pepsi offered their consumers twice as much beverage for the same prices as consumers. Throughout the years, Pepsi had advocated a new health-conscious generation after the baby boom. The Pepsi company pounced on the idea of young consumers drinking their brand. This has been the forefront of their advertising scheme for more than 70 years, and even today, Pepsi targets the younger generation. The so-called Cola War started in the 1970s when Pepsi conducted the Pepsi Challenge. In the Pepsi Challenge, they would blindfold an individual and make them taste both Coke and Pepsi. More consumers preferred Pepsi simply because Pepsi contains orange oil and uses vanillin instead of vanilla, like Coke. Enraged by this, Coke produced a new formula, which their consumers hated. New Coke, as it was called, fell flat on its face, and the company swiftly reinstated their old formula and called it Coca-Cola Classic. Pepsi has kept the same original formula and taste since their beginning. They have never once altered or changed any part of the formula. Let us conduct the Pepsi Challenge ourselves, so that you can see firsthand that the overall taste and quality of Pepsi is better than Coke. So if I could please have Callie to the stage to conduct the Pepsi Challenge. All right, Callie, now these are two sodas, Coke and Pepsi. Close your eyes, close your eyes. Take a swig of that. Taste it, smell it, smell it. All right, what does that taste like?
Coke.
Does it taste bitter, tart kind of?
Yeah.
Not very refreshing?
Yeah, I like it.
Okay. Taste this one. Refreshing?
Pepsi.
That, out of the two, which one would you choose?
The second one.
Okay, and that is a Pepsi, and that is how most of the United States conducted their Pepsi Challenge. They mostly chose Pepsi. This conclusion is the same all across America when Pepsi conducted the Pepsi Challenge beginning in the 1970s. A majority contestants preferred the sweet taste of Pepsi rather than the bitter, tart taste of Coke. We can all agree that soda is not the healthiest beverage on the market, but when in comparison, Pepsi reigns supreme for all of you health nuts out there. When you look at the ingredients in both Pepsi and Coke, it is hard to tell the difference between the two. But Coke offers one more ingredient than Pepsi does. Coke contains caffeine from the plant coca leaf. Many skeptics have argued that Coke contains the actual drug cocaine. Because Coke gives its consumer a huge burst of energy, Coke is more of a stimulant rather than a soft drink, which is not healthy for their consumers at all. Both beverages were started at a drugstore, and both drinks were made to settle an upset stomach. Unlike Coke, Pepsi provides its consumers with healthier options. Pepsi Company is a worldwide brand that stretches from across the globe into more than 200 countries. Brands from Pepsi to Tropicana to even Gatorade are all part of the Pepsi Company brand. While Pepsi and Coke may not be the healthiest options on the market, unlike Coke, Pepsi delivers alternative, healthier drinks. One significant difference between Coke and Pepsi is the fact that over the past century, Pepsi has had far more celebrity endorsements than Coke has. If you were me, wouldn't you want a celebrity drinking the same beverage as you? Celebrities from Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera, to Michael Jackson and David Beckham, big-name celebrities all across the globe drink the Pepsi Cola drink. Coke has many endorsers as well, but as I was skimming through the list, I was not aware of who those celebrities were. The biggest name I came across was Bill Gates. Now, when given the option, ladies, would you rather see Bill Gates drinking a Coke or David Beckham drinking a Pepsi?
David Beckham drinking a Pepsi.
Exactly. Thank you very much. Enough said. Not only does a polar bear and Santa Claus endorse Coke, but Michael Vick does as well. Enough said. The unofficial cola war has been going on in the United States since the beginning of the 1970s with the start of the Pepsi Challenge. Some consumers would agree, saying that the tart taste of Coke is better than the sweet, refreshing taste of Pepsi. In this cola war, you are the decider. I have given you the brief history of Pepsi, shown you that Pepsi is healthier for you than Coke, proved that Pepsi has a better taste, and shown you that the most known celebrities drink Pepsi. Both drinks have been around for the past century, but wouldn't you want to be a part of the new, refreshing taste of Pepsi?